For District 76 Board of Education meeting is now called to order. Roll call, please.
Giddens.
Here.
Tagle. Catherine Reagan. Here. Val Reagan. Here. Tyler. Here. Griner.
Here.
Bailey.
Here. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mrs. Reagan.
Creve School District 76 mission. It is a mission of Creve School District 76 in partnership with Home and Community for all students to obtain necessary knowledge, skills, and self-motivations to become lifelong learners, social responsible citizens, and active participants in their ever-changing world. Vision. In keeping with the mission statements, Creve School District 76 will provide students with access to current curriculum and the tools necessary to enable them to become lifelong learners.
You need a motion for executive session, please.
I'll make the motion to enter into executive session for student disciplinary hearings at 5:35.
Second.
Roll call.
Giddens.
Aye.
Catherine Reagan. Aye. Val Reagan. Aye. Tyler. Aye. Griner.
Aye.
Bailey.
Aye, motion carried. We need a motion to resume regular session.
Make a motion to resume regular session at 6:55. 6:40. Oh, sorry, 6:47.
Do we have a second?
6:47.
Yes. Roll call.
Giddens.
Aye.
Catherine Reagan. Aye. Val Reagan.
Aye.
Tyler. Aye. Griner.
Aye.
Bailey.
Aye, motion carried. In executive session, we did have student discipline. We need a motion, please.
I make the motion that the Board of Education of Creve Coeur School District 76 finds that student number 1704 was guilty of gross misconduct as set forth in the Illinois School Code and in violation of school board policies. It is further determined that student 1704 be and is hereby expelled from Creve Coeur School District 76 for the remainder of the 2017-2018 school year.
Second.
Roll call.
Giddens.
Aye.
Catherine Reagan. Aye. Val Reagan.
Aye.
Tyler.
Aye.
Griner.
Aye.
Bailey.
Aye, motion carried.
I make the motion that the expulsion of student 1704 be held in abeyance to allow student number 1704 to return to Parkview School on Friday, October 27, 2017, and that student number 1704 will be placed on a probationary status for the remainder of the 2017-2018 school year. Any suspendable offense shall require the student to appear before the Board of Education for review of the expulsion.
Second.
Roll call.
Giddens.
Aye.
Catherine Reagan. Aye. Val Reagan.
Aye.
Tyler.
Aye.
Griner.
Aye.
Bailey.
Aye, motion carried. We need a motion for executive session, please.
Make a motion to enter an executive session for student discipline hearing. Second. At 6:50.
Giddens.
Aye.
Catherine Reagan. Aye. Val Reagan.
Aye.
Tyler.
Aye.
Griner.
Aye.
Bailey.
Aye, motion carried. We need a motion to resume regular session, please.
Make a motion to resume regular session at 7:12. Second.
Roll call.
Giddens.
Aye.
Catherine Reagan. Aye. Val Reagan. Aye. Tyler.
Aye.
Griner.
Aye.
Bailey.
Aye, motion carried. In executive session, we did discuss student discipline. We need a motion, please.
I make the motion that the Board of Education of Creve Coeur School District 76 finds that student 1705 was guilty of gross misconduct as set forth in the Illinois School Code and in violation of school board policies. It is further determined that student 1705 be and is hereby expelled from Creve Coeur School District 76 for the remainder of the 2017-2018 school year.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Giddens.
Aye.
Catherine Reagan. Aye. Val Reagan.
Aye.
Tyler.
Aye.
Griner.
Aye.
Bailey.
Aye, motion carried.
I make the motion that the expulsion of student number 1705 be held in abeyance to allow student number 1705 to return to Parkview School on October 30th, 2017, and student number 1705 will be placed on a probationary status for the remainder of the 2017-2018 school year, and any suspendable offense shall require the student to appear before the Board of Education for review of the expulsion.
Second.
Giddens.
Aye.
Catherine Reagan. Aye. Val Reagan. Aye. Tyler.
Aye.
Griner.
Aye.
Bailey.
Motion carried. Is there any comments from the audience on action items on the agenda? Hearing none. I would like to welcome everyone to the meeting tonight, and unfortunately, we need to take a 5-minute break. Okay? Regular meeting. We need to approve the minutes for the regular meeting, please.
Make the motion to approve the meeting minutes for the regular meeting on October 10th, 2017.
Second.
Any questions? Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Giddens.
Aye.
Catherine Reagan.
Aye.
Val Reagan.
Abstain.
Tyler.
Aye.
Griner.
Aye.
Bailey.
Aye, motion carried. Need a motion regarding the payments list.
Make the motion to approve the payments list dated October 19th, 2017.
Second.
Any questions?
Yeah, what was wrong with the lawnmower that cost almost $600 to repair?
Not for sure exactly how long ago it's been probably about 2.5 weeks. Rick had come in and said the mowers at Parkview, the hydraulics are not working. Just the hydraulics, the handles, they won't go. So we did call them, they were gonna come pick it up. I met them there. As soon as they looked at the mower, they, just lifted up the seat, and started to examine it, and they looked underneath, and they said, oops, we had this cord that had busted. It was the, not cord, belt. It was a belt that ran all the hydraulics. Rick said hydraulics weren't working, but the belt busted. My brother goes with X-Marks, he said he's never had one bust in 20 years. It's just something that doesn't happen very often now. So it was a belt.
Yeah.
The motor's on its 3rd year, I believe. It's on its 3rd year. I was gonna mention that in the payment of bills, because I thought, I complained about this last year. Last year was $450 for the change of oil and all the maintenance it required. So basically, I think next year we were to look at possibly going up to replace it, help me out somebody. Small engines, because I don't think they're giving us any of that. To me, I think we bring our mower there because they have a maintenance contract with us, but we're not getting any benefits from it, I don't think.
Ready for paint all this
Yeah.
out.
So
Yeah.
it is fixed, it's mowing good now. They did put a new belt on it. I even said that day, I said, can you just put a belt on it and go on? And and we really needed an oil change. We hadn't had an oil change in a year, so yearly oil change and go on. But it is hot.
Mowing season's over now, so we
Yeah,
should be ready
because
for
like
next
it's cold
year.
now, so
Yeah.
we're done.
All right, any other questions? Mr. Giddens, did you get your question answered?
He was gonna look it up.
I'm sorry?
He was gonna look it up for me.
I know, but what was your answer? I thought you had an answer for that.
What's the
Blue moon?
question? Oh,
The blue moon.
okay.
The blue moon.
That's the nanny.
What's that?
The nanny.
The nanny? Okay.
You don't want to go without it.
I know.
Do you want to know what we filter?
No, I mean,
Thank
when you
you.
told me nanny, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
That's
I think
what,
that's what it is.
It's check number 19861, Mr. Giddens.
On page
Just-
3.
Just questioned what it was for. All right, no other questions?
Just a lot of busing, special ed, and special ed students, those are big
Sometimes
expenses.
the Easter skill seemed to be handy.
That
It's
is
right
it.
up.
We had a student start in September.
Okay.
We only have one student in that district in that building.
And attorney fees.
Water testing was exactly what we thought it would be, $880.
Yes.
We have not got a letter out to parents on that. Have that for next meeting.
Okay.
We have to also post that on our website.
Okay, next meeting, it will be done?
Yep.
Okay. All right, roll call, please.
Giddens.
Aye.
Catherine Reagan.
Aye.
Val Reagan.
Aye.
Tyler.
Aye.
Griner.
Aye.
Bailey.
Aye, motion carried. Need a motion regarding the treasurer's report, please.
Make the motion to approve the treasurer's report dated September 29, 2017.
Second.
Any questions? Comments? Roll call, please.
Giddens.
Aye.
Catherine Reagan.
Aye.
Val Reagan. Aye. Tyler. Aye. Griner.
Bailey.
Aye, motion carried. Need a motion regarding LaSalle Activity Fund Report.
I'll make the motion to approve the September LaSalle School Activity Fund report.
Second.
Any questions? Comments?
If anybody noticed, like I did, that there are 2 identical checks from the fundraiser, they actually did send us 2 checks, so they will decide if that was correct and deal with it.
There's 2 identical ones?
Oh,
But they are aware of it, it is correct, so
Okay.
it's not a problem.
Any other comments? Roll call, please.
Gooden.
Aye.
Captain Reagan. Aye. Val Reagan. Aye. Tyler. Aye. Griner.
Aye. Bailey.
Aye, motion carried. Need a motion regarding Parkview Activity Fund Report.
I make the motion to table the August and September Parkview School Activity Fund reports.
Second.
Any questions? Comments?
I emailed Mr. Johnson with some of my concerns, and we will try to get those addressed and put in the next packet.
Okay.
Very good. Roll call, please.
Gooden.
Aye.
Captain Reagan. Aye. Val Reagan.
Aye.
Tyler. Aye. Griner.
Aye.
Bailey.
All right, motion carried. Need a motion regarding the 10-year safety survey report.
I'll make the motion to approve and submit the application for approval of the 10-year life safety study survey report for LaSalle and Parkview schools.
Second.
Comments? Mr. Whiston, this is yours.
Just for the Hollenbachs here, I kind of pay attention. I've got 1/2, because it has actually estimated cost to do the things that we need to do. Jim we've crossed, actually he came out about a month ago, we crossed some things off, changed some things, so we're happy with what we've got here. Quite a few papers that need to be signed. Jim, I can maybe let you talk if you have.
Sure, I'm happy
If the board
to,
has, if the
so,
board has any questions about things that need to be done, things we have down, big lengthy.
so briefly, we're just going through the process now, so this is a step. You guys are given Mr. Whiston authority to submit to the Regional Office of Education. They'll approve it, then it goes down to the state board, and they'll review it. They may ask for clarification if they're not certain about some of the items. They have the option to adjust the amounts or to even zero out the amounts if they don't agree that it's, money that can be applied from the health life safety based on their rules. I wouldn't anticipate that in this case. And then once the state board finalizes, then it's a final report. I'll get you some copies that you can keep at each school and here at the district office. And then you are on the clock for the 1-year time frame to create to fix the A items and the 5-year clock to fix the B items. So
From the time this is submitted?
no, from the time it's approved.
The state board approves
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, it's not finalized until that point, so. And again, I'll give Mr. Whiston and your administration and grounds and building and grounds folks some credit. We were able to knock off a number of items just based on, we hadn't submitted it, so they were able to get some things addressed so that they don't even have to go through the process. So I was happy to see that, and your guys are definitely doing their jobs on the facility side of things from my perspective, so.
There was one I questioned, because we're talking about redoing the boys' locker room, correct?
Correct.
So anything that would be listed on here, that would be eliminated?
Like the shower heads, is that what you're talking about?
That's it, yes.
I noticed that on here, because I thought, well, they're capped, but we might just take them completely out, so why do we have to redo it? It says
Right.
install new showers. Here it is, install new shower heads on the shower tram.
Right.
And if that could be a miss, because I don't think we're wanting blue shower heads.
Yeah.
Right, that's what we're saying.
Right.
Right.
And it's under, I think it's either under A or B. It's B,
It is.
A.
No, it's an A.
Yeah, it's an A.
Okay?
So I was thinking, well, we don't want to do that anyway.
No,
Right,
So we're putting money where,
right.
yeah, we're not putting in the shower heads.
Do it and then take them out.
right. I think it's like, it says one at the bottom of the page, do they all say that? 1 of 3. It's page 1 of 3
Yeah,
for Parkview.
Yeah, so like in the boys' locker room, side, and it says that you've got a broken shower head,
No,
or
it's
they
capped,
can
it
remove the
said.
cap, sure.
It says,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, that'd be at your option. We could also address that by capping or removing, so.
so this is basically a formality.
I think a lot of things that Jim we talked about was in the locker room is, a lot of schools, when they build them now, they don't even put showers in, they just call them a changing room. It's just different than when we grew up with changing rooms. I even brought up to Jim and Steve that we have small coach's office on each side of the locker room. Paul's is down toward the kitchen, Becky's is up toward the front of the building. And it seems like those, my thought was, and we had some discussion, there's still some discussion about it, but when they go in those offices, the kids, you can't see them because you've got nothing but walls. My thought was, you should almost put like a window in there that you can look into the locker rooms, that, you know, you
I don't know if
can
we do
supervise,
that.
you can supervise better. Because if you supervise, you have to go in the locker room. I mean, if you, to supervise, you have to, as a PE teacher, go in and be right in the locker room. You know, you can actually go in your office and have a window where you're all.
Or just go in there and supervise.
But that would be under our remodeling, not life safety,
Right.
right?
But I just thought that that's a whole area.
I don't wanna do that.
I don't either.
Okay.
Thank you.
Good, that's good.
Because if somebody walks in their office, they're meeting, and all of a sudden,
Yeah. If a
students
male
pile
or
in.
female walks in, want to talk to them.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, that's,
Yeah, it's like, it'd be like, they're peeing and they're really not.
I always said, you know, when I was at Liberty High School, we had a drop ceiling in our locker room. When I went there, they said, we don't replace them. There's 90% of them are gonna, we're not doing that. Then why not? Well, kids tear it up. I said, I'd like to have them replaced, and I'll make sure we watch them. I had a windowed office and had a locker room. I'd go in there. You know, kids these days, I'm telling you, are different. You go in there as a coach and you're watching them and say, oh, he's staring at us. And I was in the office, supervised. We had a couple of towels that needed replaced during the year, but we replaced them and they look good. So my point was is, I don't think, you know, it's nice to have supervision in the locker room. But I see,
It is.
you all
We
said
agree.
if a visitor comes into the office.
visitor comes into,
Does anyone have any questions about the document or to the architect? When can we expect plans for that remodel of the boys' locker room?
I've really got drawn up. I'm waiting on some pricing. We're trying to bring you guys a few different options and kind of what those price points would be, so you have information to make decisions on how to move forward, so. I
Because
don't
we've
know.
been wanting to get this done for a couple years and we end up waiting too late.
Sure.
And then we can't get it done during the summer, so.
Yeah.
What about that CTS team that came in? They came and gave options. I
Did
thought
they?
already.
Mhm.
Yeah, we have it.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
put
well,
Okay.
put in.
And we need to pull that out and get what he gave us.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe
All right.
Yeah, talk to them.
As soon as possible, right after the first of the year maybe?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, no other questions on the application? Roll call, please.
Giddens,
Aye.
Captain Reagan,
Aye.
Val Reagan,
Aye.
Tyler,
Aye.
Griner, Bailey.
Aye, motion carried. Need a motion regarding abatement of working cash.
I make the motion to approve Resolution 17-09, resolution authorizing the partial abatement of the working cash fund in the amount of $326,900. Whereas the Board of Education of Shreveport School District 76 has heretofore established a working cash fund, and whereas Article 20 of the Illinois School Code found at 105 ILCS 5/20-1, the act authorizes the board to abate the working cash fund and direct the transfer at any time of the monies in that fund to any fund or funds of the district in most need of the money, and whereas it is in the best interest of the district to partially abate the working cash fund in the amount of $326,900 in the manner authorized by the act, and to transfer funds in that amount to the life safety fund which fund is most in need of the money generated by the abatement, and whereas upon completion of the aforementioned transfer, the amount to the credit of the working cash fund, including taxes levied pursuant to 105 ILCS 5/20-3 and not yet collected, and amounts transferred pursuant to 105 ILCS 5/20-4 and to be reimbursed to the working cash fund will equal at least 0.05% of the current equalized assessed value of the taxable property in the district. Now therefore it be it resolved by the Board of Education of Creve Coeur School District 76, Tazewell County, Illinois, that Section 1, the working cash fund of the district is hereby abated, but only to the extent of $326,900, which amount the treasurer shall permanently transfer from the working cash fund to the life safety fund. Such transfer to be completed as soon as possible after approval of this resolution. Section 2, except to the extent of $326,900 to be permanently transferred to the life safety fund as provided by this resolution, the balance of cash on hand and receivables due the working cash fund shall remain available for use in accordance with the Act. This resolution shall be in full force and in effect forthwith upon its passage, adopted this 24th day of October 2017.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Coming for air.
Yeah.
Questions?
Sorry.
Comments? We put partial, the word partial in there because we are not abating the entire fund. And it is highly likely that we will be doing a revised budget because this exceeds the 5%. Mrs. Cornwell? Okay, so we will be doing that probably before the end of the year, school year. All right, any other questions? Roll call, please.
Giddens?
Aye.
Catherine Reagan?
Aye.
Val Reagan? Aye. Tyler? Aye. Griner? Bailey?
Aye, motion carried. Need a motion regarding authorization to use fire prevention and safety funds.
Make the motion to approve the request for authorization to use fire prevention and safety funds for LaSalle and Parkview School.
Any questions, comments?
So.
I can explain this
Okay, go ahead.
now that I called Mrs. Cornwell because I didn't have a clue what we were doing here. And according to what she told me today, we need to get permission from the state to use the life safety funds. So we're taking the $326,900 out of our working cash, putting it into life safety, but then we need to ask the state if we can use it.
And that's what he was talking about, the state okays. What?
Is that correct? Okay, thank you. It takes all of us to get it, but I don't remember ever doing this, but I'm sure we have. All right, any other questions?
Yeah, exactly.
And so, it's not like it's just gonna automatically be taken out, it'll be approved, like, if we approve to redo them. I mean, somewhat, like you already started.
Well, all of your A's have to be done.
Right, that's right.
Right, but I'm
Like the
sure they're
locker
going
room,
to, right.
You know.
Yeah, that will come out of here.
No.
Oh, it won't, okay. What does it come out of?
Mrs. Cornwell, you have a question, but
Okay.
I'm sorry not to put you on the spot, but
Okay.
if we were to redo the locker room, it can't come out of life safety?
If it's not on the life safety and it's not like,
But it could come out of our working cash that we took the bonds for.
But
Is
some of
that
the
not
items
correct?
are on the life safety.
if they're not on life safety, we could still use the bonds money. But
Right.
it would not be life safety.
Correct, okay, I think that's what I was
It's
trying
not,
to say.
it's not a
Wouldn't be a
life
part of this
safety
item.
item.
No,
Okay.
it wouldn't be part of the 326,000. It would come out of a different fund.
Okay.
But
Except
if
for
we-
items
if we-
that
I was
Except
gonna
would
say,
get
if we
corrected
are-
through the remodel.
Yes, that's what I
Right.
was saying, even
Right,
if we're
because
not
you
doing
have
exactly,
several. I mean, there is a lot of items in the boys' locker room.
even if we're not doing, correct me if I'm wrong, but even if you're not doing exactly what's on that list, like you talked about the showers, as long as you're rectifying those items,
Okay,
it can be life safety.
okay,
Because there's like 6 items on here.
that's true. And
So-
some of those
So
would.
some of it we
Yeah.
could use life
Okay.
safety.
Right. Okay,
As long as
thank
we're
you.
fixing those.
Right, fixing that.
Okay.
Okay, does that answer your question?
Yes.
I think Mrs. Cornwell needs to come to every meeting, do you think?
Yes.
Okay,
I'll give
roll
her my share.
call, please.
Giddens?
Aye.
Catherine Reagan?
Aye.
Val Reagan? Tyler?
Aye.
Griner? Bailey?
All right, motion carried. Need a motion regarding the financial report.
Make the motion to accept the annual financial report as presented.
Second.
Okay, everyone was given one at the last board meeting. We've got time to look through it. Are there any questions? Do you have a question?
No.
Okay. All right, roll call please.
Giddens.
Aye.
Captain Reagan.
Aye.
Val Reagan.
Abstain.
Tyler. Griner. Bailey.
Aye, motion carried. Need a motion regarding repayment of interfund loan.
I'll make the motion to approve the repayment of the interfund loan to the educational fund from the tort fund in the amount of $3,500.
Second.
Any questions? That was just last month that we did it, just because of a in-out thing. Roll call please.
Giddens.
Aye.
Captain Reagan.
Aye.
Val Reagan. Tyler. Griner.
Aye.
Bailey.
Aye, motion carried. Need a motion regarding disposal or recycling.
Make a motion to authorize Mr. Johnson to dispose and recycle unnecessary conference room inventory at Parkview School. I need the 7 of this, I think, is in there.
Yes.
Yeah, but it's here, I've seen it, so.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Any problem with the list? We still need to get a list from Mr. Wendland. Don't we?
Yes, and you also need to get a list from the village for the Halloween
Yeah. We haven't done that yet.
merchandise that was loaned.
What did you want from Jay? Or what he got rid of?
List of items to be disposed of.
And Parkview J. Alright. Roll call please.
Giddens.
Aye.
Captain Reagan.
Aye.
Val Reagan. Tyler.
Aye.
Griner.
Make it a little better.
Aye.
Bailey.
Aye, motion carried. We need a motion to accept a donation.
I'll make a motion to accept the monetary donation of $500 in memory of Margie Ashburn.
I'll second.
Questions? Comments?
It's very nice and generous of the family.
It is. And their request was, or Margie's request was that it be given to Spelling Bee Champion. So could we set up a file? Could we set up a file for that? Thank you. Any other questions? Roll call please.
Giddens.
Aye.
Captain Reagan.
Aye.
Val Reagan.
Aye.
Tyler. Griner.
Aye.
Bailey.
Aye, motion carried. A motion regarding a dental plan.
Motion to approve the renewal of the employee dental plan coverage effective November 1st, 2017 as presented.
Second.
Questions? A copy in your packet.
It's kind of small. It was
It
very
is
difficult.
very, very small.
I was like, people who have young eyes.
Any comments?
Is it the same? I mean, it doesn't really even talk about if there's any changes. Just
Current,
at the bottom.
yeah, at the
Yeah.
bottom, current and renewal, minimal compared to everything else.
I
It's
just
very
kind of meant the
important.
coverage and everything too.
Oh, okay.
That's why I was thinking it's probably just the same.
Because the increases aren't
Yeah,
anything
very
like the
minimal.
rest of it. Roll call please.
Giddens.
Aye.
Captain Reagan.
Aye.
Val Reagan.
Aye.
Tyler. Griner. Bailey.
Aye, motion carried. Need a motion regarding the health reimbursement account.
I'll make a motion to create a health reimbursement account and fund the account at 50% of the increase of the employee health insurance deductible and out-of-pocket expenses.
Second.
All right, discussion. And I get to talk for a few minutes. All right. Because the premiums, to try to keep the premiums down, we actually took away some of the benefits. So, benefits explaining the deductibles. I mean, our staff is going to be responsible for more of the deductible than they ever were before. But in order to keep our premium down, which we're paying the 80%, 20% or 10% is the staff, it was better for us, it was better for them to keep the premiums down. But in return, now their out-of-pockets went way up. And I asked Shelley, let me back up. I'd asked Bill did it for us it was in last packet, but he didn't go into a lot of detail. He gave us different percentages and didn't really explain it. So I asked Shelley to give us an easy to understand paper. It's not as easy to us as it is to her. But it basically tells what we have. The three options listed, the 100%, we could start what they call the health reimbursement account, and we could put 100% of the difference in there for them. We could put 75, we could put any amount we wanted to. The motion was made for 50, so let's say we put in, what would that be, 750?
500.
500, okay, we would put in 500 for all of our employees. Now, that's not saying that every employee is going to reach their deductible, so you can't count on, go ahead, Val.
It says deductible and out of pocket. It doesn't just say deductible.
It doesn't. Okay, Shelley,
Okay.
help me.
Okay,
Okay,
I mean, we'd be running problems there.
okay,
so you can
ask your
set up,
question.
you can set up the account and cover whatever you choose to. If you wanna do, like, the motion is half of the increase of the out-of-pocket and the deductible, or you could say just the deductible. You could say just the employee and not the dependent, or you can say both. This information here, the first page, is your maximum liability. That means the employee plus one dependent. So you can max out at 2 per family. This is the maximum liability.
Can I ask a question? Because I did not understand this.
It's hard. No,
Okay,
go
It's a
ahead.
lot of information.
Right.
Okay,
Can I just
Okay,
I think I don't know if I'm reading it wrong.
okay.
On the paper you gave us, it said district's portion of increase was 24,000
Yes.
per person?
No,
See, that's why I wasn't understanding.
per year.
So that's just total.
That's
What is and so then it says employees' portion of increase is 5,000.
correct.
So they have to, their increase went up $5,000 this year.
Collectively.
Okay, so that, I wanna know individually what it went up. I mean, I'm sorry, it's hard for me to make a decision.
like a premium,
Yeah,
that's what you're,
I think it was about between 30 and 35% is what was proposed, so, let's see. I mean, there's 44 members, Val. So, I mean, there's 44 members, so if you,
44 members.
so if you took that 5,000 and divided it.
I bought a calculator just for this.
So, I mean, you could divide it equally. Now, obviously, some pay more, some are 20, some
Right,
are
because if they have
10.
families or something.
But you could get a rough idea of how much it would be per person.
And so if we added more people though, we would have to increase it by that amount.
Well, yeah, because of more people. This is
Right.
based on 44 employees, correct?
Okay. I just needed to know that.
Okay, so that if during open enrollment we got more members, then it would cost us more than this.
Yes.
Correct. And it costs employees more because
So-
they're
Trying to
Over
understand.
the
Their
course of
portion
a
would be-
year, it went up $119.
for the premium, yes.
Yes. Per person.
On average.
Right, it depends, yeah, I get that.
Yes.
So $119 your premium went up a year. That you pay, yeah, but it went up that much. It's not, they're paying more, but it just went up that much.
Yeah,
Right.
yes, correct, just the increase. Mhm.
but so did ours.
Who's?
Right.
Ours?
The districts.
Oh, the districts went up 5 times that.
Not personally, yeah.
4 times that? Because we pay 80, they pay 20. So it had to go up 4 times that.
Yeah.
I mean, it
Okay.
just has to.
Yeah,
Okay.
So basically, in order to help our staff that is taking our insurance, we could put so much money, whatever you decide, into these accounts. And you also have 2 different choices, Horace Mann, which we've also done business with, and Beacon Insurance. There would be a minimal cost to that. but then they would handle it for us.
So then
So that
run it.
we're not, yes, we're not dealing with that, we're not back in the insurance business. But it could be set up pretty easily.
Oh, I got some, you just mentioned horseman in our handout.
Yes, that's on the table
Yeah,
in front of
when-
you.
And the other one is a different one, elected horseman. If you flip that open and look at the last page there, page 3, the implementation and annual fee is $500 per
Yes.
member, so you gotta multiply that by 44.
No, that's one-time fee of $500, right?
And then annual renewal. Now, is that for 44 or is that one time for the district?
It's the $250 annual renewal, is that what you're talking about?
The 500 and 250,
The
there's two,
implementation.
Those are just one
one charge?
One time.
one charge. Now, the annual
district?
renewal obviously is every year, but it's
Right.
just, it's not per employee, no.
Okay,
Okay, good.
The monthly administration fee is $3.50.
But the
That's per
monthly
person,
minimum
right?
billing is 100.
Correct.
minimum.
Right,
Yeah.
right now,
Everybody pays
it's,
100, right.
And if we have to do a wire transfer, it's $15 per wire transfer. All of these fees start piling on,
Yeah, it's 1,200 just for the annual fee.
and they could pile on, and it's something that we're not doing now. And this was sitting on the table, so I never got a chance, and it didn't break it down. It kept showing zero everywhere. Initial setup's $250, and the medical here's where I seen is $6.50 per participant per month. Is what they're charging just to have the plan.
Well, and also,
You know, we don't have these fees now.
well, and it's $3.50 also per person with horseman. That's where their individual fee is.
Right.
On top of
Monthly,
everything else.
$3.50 monthly.
Right, so that's about another $200 a month. So you're talking $300 or $400 a month just to have it.
Just to have it.
Just to have it.
Yeah.
True.
All right, Mrs. Cornwell, what did I miss on this? I didn't go through it very well. The health reimbursement plan. What else can I explain?
did you see the spreadsheet that compared the two, horseman and it kind of shows you the total annual cost?
On the table?
Yes, I believe it was on the table, because we
Yeah, you
just
did.
received it this afternoon, I think, or
Right.
this morning.
I just had it now.
So that kind of shows you what the annual
Yes.
cost would be, and you're correct, Mr. Giddens, there would be an additional cost to the district.
Okay.
I think it was $3,000 a year. So that would be an additional cost. The wire transfer that you referred to, that would be only if you didn't have sufficient funds and you had claims that you had to wire transfer money. Most time when you have a health reimbursement account, you fund at a certain anticipation. And so you put money into that account on a regular basis. And that's the money that is used for claims. So I would anticipate that you probably wouldn't have very many wire transfers, if any, is my guess. But, I mean, I suppose there's always a chance that you could have claims greater than the funding level, but.
So the horseman came out at $2,598. The group plan solutions came out at $3,832.
Oh, I didn't email it yet.
Okay, what questions?
And I'm looking back at just the short time I've been on this board, and I remember just 2 years ago, we were running negative all over the place, and the district taxpayers kept making it all up. You know, and we hadn't had this 80-20 participation until the current contract, since I've been on the board.
No, we've always.
It was in there, but it
80-20,
wasn't-
90-10.
But
But
it
the
didn't-
premium increases were not passed on
To the employees.
for several years there, I
Yes.
think.
So,
Okay.
and then when we were making up the differences and everything, they never stepped forward. My feelings on this, rather than the district picking this up, the employees can ask their unions to pick it up. Why can't the union?
Well,
You can laugh, but if their union don't wanna pick it up,
We don't have that kind of money, Randy.
Well, I'm just wondering if we are breaking union contract, because the union contract does specifically say 80-20. So if we do this, will we have to write a letter, memorandum of understanding, and is that opening up the contract again?
And then you're setting precedents
And
and
you're
past
setting precedents, we
practice.
will always have to do this health account, and we will always have to put money in it. I mean, because the contract does say 80-20. So at this point, we're doing more than 80-20.
It specifies premium, doesn't it?
Yes,
Well, you're talking premium.
but you're talking about that we wanna offset their premiums.
No.
I mean,
No,
we
no.
wanna offset their costs.
Deductible
Deductible.
costs.
So
Yeah,
if
their
we
costs.
offset their costs, you're setting
Right.
precedents to
But-
always do it yearly.
Yeah,
And is it fair to employees who don't have our insurance? Maybe it'd be better off just give everyone a $500 bonus and say, do what you want with it. I mean, if I was an employee who didn't have insurance here,
Right.
and my spouse had an insurance somewhere else and I had to pay their deductible, why isn't my deductible being paid? I mean, I'd be like, you give me $500 for my deductible and my husband's insurance.
So picking.
their deductible's been held low for years. This deductible is extremely low compared to anybody else's.
I
Mine
don't
is
know.
3,000
So's ours,
a person,
so's ours.
6,000 per family.
3,000.
Yeah,
Ours
and this is 500 and 1,000. They're getting more in line with what the rest of the, now, I'm not wanting to go out and ask taxpayers, you know what, let's go ahead and be kind and kick this in, and then try to undo it down, the next board try to undo it.
next year.
Because we've done a lot, and then they're gonna argue, well, you set precedent. That's the reason why I say let the union put, and she says the union can't afford it. So why should the taxpayers pick up the bill? If their union won't do it for them. That's my thoughts.
The deductible
That's all.
was 500 to 15, right? That's what it's
Went to
going,
5 to
5
15.
So their deductible per person is what?
15.
And why, and it used to be 500.
Right.
It is a huge increase, but
It
ours
is.
It
went,
is.
ours went last year from 1,500 to 3,000. I mean,
Your personal.
my personal, yeah.
Healthcare's a mess, I mean, for everybody.
For everybody. And we don't know what it's gonna look like next year.
Exactly.
So once we set this precedent this year, what
Right.
kind of mess are we jumping into?
I agree with Randy, if we're gonna do it, we're gonna have to know that we're gonna do it for the long haul.
I don't know that the funds are available, will be available for the long haul.
And,
Which is why I'm hesitant to go
Okay.
into it, because, I mean, past practice has bit us more than once.
mhm.
And we've recently had some other things come up that had to be dealt with through negotiations, and if that is, I would certainly think this is a negotiation item.
But not all of our staff taking this as union.
And that's why it's not
That is
fair, they
true.
should get the money
And
then.
it's not all the teachers' union.
And they should get the money then. I mean, if we're gonna do it for one group, we should do it for, I mean, like I said, give everyone a $500 bonus.
You have to be fair and equal across the board.
Right.
We've tried very hard the last few years to not pick favorites. So, yeah, I see what you're saying, but, Ms. Tyler, you're sitting there very quietly. Listening? No comments?
Should we do it? I don't think so. I agree, I don't think so, no.
Okay. All right, we have a motion on the table. Any more discussion?
The only thing, discussion I would have is, there are other insurance that maybe we need to start the process earlier to look and see if there's to see if there's something else. If they're not happy with it. I know that some do a high deductible, low premium, and that's what I'm trying to say, if some people are paying these premium and they never use it, then they just keep paying the premiums, and it's not really fair. So maybe they can start having two options, like high deductible, low premium, and that way they're not getting penalized for never using the insurance.
Didn't we offer them different plans originally? Okay, I know we talked about
We
it at
talked
some
about
point.
it, but it
Okay.
was never offered.
Okay.
Right, I mean, maybe we could start the process earlier and say,
Right,
there's
so
two
that-
different plans, pick which one.
This year, we did have a plan that had lower, it was different. I actually didn't even go, somebody said it was better than that. I didn't go look at it, I says, because we only got 2 days. to get this, to sit down with the unions and reach.
Well, just make,
And I go, 2 days, we're probably not gonna get it done, so I said, okay.
Right.
I didn't, honestly, I didn't take the time to read it,
We thought we
Because
started
we're
early
locked
enough,
out.
we didn't, right.
you know, because we never sat
Well, I'm
down.
trying to get a more accurate.
And by the time we
figure.
got the numbers,
Because we got hit so hard, yeah, and we were trying to readjust numbers and stuff, hoping we would get everything.
so next year I
Yeah,
hope we can do things better.
Right,
and
because we need to give
we
our
can
employees
meet
more
with the
time to do
unions
this.
and get a chance to come up with the best for everybody.
and, you know, I don't know, maybe we're too small to have two plans, because a lot of companies have two plans,
I think being small is part of it.
yeah.
I do have another question for Shelley. Could you explain, okay, since this plan starts in November,
Mhm.
if I meet my deductible in November, is it going to reset in January?
Correct.
That just doesn't seem right.
Yeah, it should be can.
Our deductibles are calendar year and out of pocket.
So
Why is our
then
plan-
why don't we try to move our window to January?
Yeah, our plan started in January.
I asked that question yesterday.
Well, good, it was a good question, then wasn't
What
it?
I asked them,
answer
and
did you get?
I'm gonna speak out of turn.
Please.
The question I asked yesterday was, explain to us this deductible, because if you've met your $500 deductible, we were on a January 1 to December 31 window.
Right,
It's gonna reset November 1, the $500 will, but from November 1 to December 31, it goes from $500 to $1,500, and then right back to $1,500 January 1. So why isn't it prorated? They just don't do that, he told me.
so when we renew next year, is there a way to move that window?
I did ask him, are we locked into this insurance plan for a year? And the answer was no, it's month to month. So we
So
are
we
in
can
full
look.
agreat, we need to look.
And the
I would at
union,
least like to
We
get
need
that
to
fixed,
look.
because that's just not fair. I mean,
Oh, no, it was insult to injury, it really was.
and the union has formed their insurance committee, so
Yep.
that part is done.
okay.
Okay, so
But even if we started now, we wouldn't be ready by
this
January.
doesn't even make,
You know how
so
long
the
it takes.
deductible starts over November 1st through January 1st.
Goes up, you have to pay
You
$1,000.
have to go from $500 to $1,500, so they will at least keep the $500, so that means an extra $1,000, and then go right back. So for basically 2 months, we're gonna get hit with an extra $1,000, and that doesn't even include the out-of-pocket or the other things that went up, like our copay is no longer $20 when you go to the doctor. You get 3 doctor visits and then you pay 20%. Anytime you go into the emergency room, it's $250. Anytime you have a test ordered for you, an MRI, a CAT scan, a PET scan, it's $250 plus. It's a lot of changes.
And the co-insurance went from 90% to 80% as well, so.
Okay, what do you mean by co-insurance?
They'll be paying twice as much, right?
The portion that we pay, the employee pays,
Mm-hmm.
um, is now 20% instead of 10%.
Oh,
If we
okay.
go in-network. So it's
Right, so that's what you were saying, your percent went up.
Double.
On top
Not your
of,
premium.
on top of the premium and
Right.
everything else.
So you have your premium, but every time you go anywhere, it's 20% instead of 10% you're paying.
And prescriptions have been getting denied, I mean,
So can we
certain,
look into that?
certain meds. I have already emailed Patty on that. She gave me a couple options, but
I've been
I mean,
through
can
that
they
fight
say why they
before.
deny it?
Went to my doctor's.
Yeah, that's why I
all
say
the
tell them, yeah.
insurance.
All the insurance
They,
companies
they
are.
will tell you, oh, you can appeal it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know, and I hate to say this, but yeah, I had to appeal acne medicine for my daughters.
But like Val was saying, the insurance companies are really tightening down.
Yeah.
So
They are.
it may not just be UnitedHealthcare, you know,
Right.
it's not.
Oh, it's not,
Well, that's
this is a
scary, we
lot
don't know what
better than
else is
what I
coming.
have. I have no co-insurance on anything, not even prescriptions until I met my deductible. They don't pay nothing.
Right.
Deductible is
It's been that way
3,000.
for I don't know how many, 5 years or
There's a
so.
lot of people.
Pay nothing.
It's almost like catastrophic.
Yeah, come on,
Yeah.
that's what mine behaves like.
All right, motion on the table was to create the health reimbursement account at 50%
And out of pocket.
and out of pocket, I'm sorry, just trying to read. All right, Roll call, please.
Giddens,
No,
Captain Reagan,
No.
Val Reagan,
No.
Tyler,
No.
Griner,
No.
Bailey.
No. Motion did not carry. All right, we need a motion regarding customary and routine bills, please.
I'll make the motion to authorize the bookkeeper to pay customary and routine bills for November and December 2017 due to only one regular board and business meeting in each month.
Second.
Any questions? Comments? Roll call, please.
Giddens,
Aye.
Captain Reagan,
Aye.
Val Reagan,
Aye.
Tyler, and Griner,
Aye.
Bailey.
All right, motion carried. Information items. Do we have any written communication?
Yes, we do, if I can find it. We received a letter about the holiday help for the needy families in Creveport.
I sent it.
And I will pass it around so that each board member can see it. I understand copies have went to both schools also.
Anything else? All right. Reminder of upcoming events. We have a special board meeting on November 7th. Please mark your calendars, 6 o'clock. Disciplinary hearing. Regular board meeting is November 14th. There is only one regular board meeting in November and December, just reminding everybody. Chicago Conference is November 17th through the 19th. The badges will be mailed to the district office on October 30th. If you have not returned this paper that was at the table last month to Ms. Shelley, you need to get it done or you won't have a check come Chicago time.
Is she going to tell us how to fill it out?
And I'm sure she would help us with filling it out, yes. Did the principals also get this?
I haven't yet.
Oh,
Yes.
okay,
I
okay,
will
and
tomorrow.
the administrators will, okay. Alright. And that's all I have for upcoming events. We have a lot going on, but the principals will take care of that. Are there any presentations and suggestions by board members?
So I brought it up before,
We don't have a clue.
but I think that we should set up like maybe an anonymous feedback thing on the district website or something. That way, if someone has a problem, but they don't like want to come to the board or something, we can find out about it through that, rather than like word of mouth in the community.
Or Facebook?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So,
Anonymous, say it again.
like an anonymous
feedback?
like feedback box.
Okay, so like a comment.
Like yeah, but like it doesn't post.
Right.
It needs to go to
Publicly.
somebody.
It goes, you know, maybe to Tony or like some,
Principal.
or yeah, or the principals or somewhere, and then like we can get all of that information. That way, we're not like blindsided by something that we didn't know happened. Or like if someone has a suggestion, they can like put that in the box
I
too.
think maybe it should go to the board president.
That's what I was gonna say.
To be,
Or
to be
secretary.
rerouted, well, because,
Or the board secretary.
either one, but here's my point. If that comment is about
True. then
the
it's someone-
superintendent,
right. Then no
not,
one-
not that
right.
Mr. Weston would, but some superintendents would not pass that along.
Right.
If it goes to the principal, you got the same thing, so I think it needs to be a board member.
Okay, yeah, good idea.
That's a different suggestion.
It's a good one.
And get right to the top.
Right.
Well, that is kind of,
Yeah,
that is
shoot,
kind
that's
of,
breaking chain of command.
it kind of is,
Yeah, it is.
That's what I was
but I
gonna
don't
say.
know how else you would handle it.
Well, they're breaking chain of command going all over Facebook anyway.
Good point.
one thing
You're not gonna
is,
stop that.
And it's not coming to us and we're taking action, it's just saying, are you aware?
Yeah, I guess, yeah. I don't,
I guess, who is your audience?
the community, the people,
So they-
taxpayers.
I mean,
But there's a board link in there, and when they
There is.
click that email, it goes to all of us.
yeah.
So they can do it if they wanna be anonymous, I mean,
True. They could
hide your
just-
IP address and go.
Not everybody knows how to do
No,
that.
yeah.
I mean, you could make the,
Well,
not everybody knows how to do that.
Okay.
But you could make a comment section and have it go to all the board members. Send the board members a comment anonymously. I don't know, that could be wicked.
Yeah.
You better be careful
But
what you
then how do
wish
you,
for.
how do you ask questions or get more information?
Yeah.
Let's just toss this around for a little while.
Put your name on it.
The 5 Essential Survey starts November 15th,
Oh my
and
God.
parents,
Okay.
there's a
They
section
can
in
do
it
it
for
there.
parents.
Yeah.
We let the parents know and get them, and I think it used to
Didn't we
be,
just do this?
Yes,
Mr.
we
Gibbons?
did. Huh?
Didn't we just do this?
But this year
They
it's
do it,
mandatory.
and that was last year's.
Could we put, not a comment, a complaint box, but maybe we could put a comment like, how can we improve the district?
Yeah, but who does that go to still?
It could go to anyone, because if someone says, I want new books or new, I don't know, I'm thinking bobbleheads. I mean, anything, it would go out to everyone. So you can get a pulse of what the community wants. If I want a 5th and 6th grade girls soccer team, or boys soccer team,
Okay, then all you'd have to do is put text above that Board of Education email address.
and just say,
And
please.
just say, we would like input, how would you like our district to proceed, or
Right, improve, or
Improve,
what are we doing
right,
good,
just
and how
make it
can we
more-
improve?
we could do that.
Right.
Would
Yeah,
that
that's-
suffice?
Yes.
Instead of
that's good.
complaints.
Yeah, but I just
Right.
wanted people to have like a way to inform us or give us suggestions or, you know,
Have a suggestion, let us know.
yeah,
Oh, that's,
It's pretty simple, that's pretty good.
yeah.
Let's get that
Okay.
above that email.
I think they could also, thanks for doing well, let us know. Just, we don't, it's good to hear the problem.
Right.
And if you're doing something well, then continue to do it.
exactly.
Mr. Whiston, it's your time.
Did have the snow people come in, I guess call them snow people. Ice removal, snow removal. This is the contract we signed, pretty much what we talked about. I think they had put a bid out. The last time you saw their bid, they were above 100 with the salt application. I got them down to 100, which I thought was pretty good. They both signed it. They're excited, ready to go.
We need one more.
So that's that.
Maybe 2 more.
No, he's got one right there.
I got plenty to do more.
Mm-mm.
I'm not sure what they're predicting for snow.
I hope none.
I did put this silly picture up here, or this drawing. I actually tried to make that make sense to me. You can turn around if you want to look at it.
Thanks.
But basically, you have 3 sections of Homewood. I've always been asking, how much land is there? How much land is in Homewood? Don't know who to ask. But if you go on, I'll just give you a handout, the way you have to look. You go on, cut it off, looks like. But there's a website, GIS, something. It might be in there somewhere. I cut it off most places. But basically,
Thank you.
the pink is Pekin Township, so this part of Homewood, this part of Homewood, this part of Homewood is in the Pekin Township. These 5 lots right here would be in the Groveland, okay? First thing I did was ask the lady down, I think Mrs. Peak, I said, where's the land lie? She basically said, you have 6 lots, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Those all have a Riverview address, those 6. It kind of confuses me a little bit though if you look at that, because these 2 lots actually face the other way. But actually, if you look on there, under whatever number they give you, some long number, you punch in the number 040412202022, you get this. Okay, you punch in another number, you get this. What's different, I will say about this, this is zoned C1. which is conservation. I don't know what that means, actually. I think you can build a house on it if you buy it. But that's zoned conservation. If you look at the big map, you have the Fort Creve core, and it's a big triangle square type thing. For some reason, they just cut a sliver off right here to give to us, maybe when we go to school. But that is actually part of the conservation place, Fort Creve core. So this is zoned C1, which is conservation. I'm not for sure what that actually means. The others are all zoned residential, okay? If we knock the building down, we could build houses in there. All these houses through here, the lots are 60 by 120. So you have, where the school sits, 4 lots, 60 with 120 feet deep, okay? These lots are a little odd shaped. When I called first, they gave me these 6 lots, and they gave me this. And they never said anything about these 3. I had to call back and say, "Now, what about this other side?" They said, "Well, put in a different number and you'll find it." So this is 5.5 acres. The others, if you add them all up, about 1.5 acres. I figured them out. So actually the whole piece of property is 7 acres, right at 7 acres. Okay, I think that's important to know because, what do you have there? I think the land is worth more than the building, in my opinion. The land is what's worth something. You have 7 acres there. What I think is good about this property is it adjoins the conservation. I think, you have no one's going to build a house behind you if you have something there you like. Land is land. I don't think you should ever give land away.
A little tidbit, you cannot build under the high lines that go through it either.
That's correct.
Not even a garage.
Not even a garage.
No,
That
because
is
your
correct.
son has that vacant lot, we looked into that.
Because they have the easement.
Right.
Now that high line goes straight by the basketball goals,
Uh-huh.
and just straight through and on, comes on down.
So those lots were done then,
Yeah, pretty much.
because it's all an easement. So the only thing you have is what the building's on.
I think you could build right here, because you have houses here in this next lot. You could build,
Right on the curb.
pretty much out toward the curb. You wouldn't want to go toward the back of the property for sure. So I don't know. There is a piece.
So do you think we can sell the lots for people to buy a house, build a house?
I think you could, yeah. These are residential,
Good luck.
okay? Yeah. I'm not saying I'm not up here, but I'm just saying, there is 7 acres there. I think that next Tuesday or Monday, whenever the grounds and people meet, we should start talking about that.
Monday.
Yeah, it's Monday, but there used to be a law, and I don't know if it still is, that you couldn't subdivide lots only once unless you were a contractor.
Mhm.
So I mean, you'd have to sell it all probably to a contractor and let them subdivide it. I don't know if it's still in the books or anything like that, if it's been changed, this was several years ago.
It's hard to get the lots divided.
And maybe that's
You're
why,
right.
maybe that's why,
I don't know.
unless they're already divided.
They're already divided. If you go in the,
Right, and maybe that's it, because they're already divided.
It's with 7 tax bills.
And there was a reason he couldn't even combine him, so, yeah.
Yeah, he said they're already divided, so maybe that.
now if you look at, and I'm just gonna say that,
Better.
Yeah.
I like land, so I actually just went to the other 2 schools, and it's real simple. Parkview, 10 acres, squares. It doesn't have all these lots, and Parkview says 10 acres, make it square. If you look at the third school, we have LaSalle, which is the biggest area, 11.74 acres. Pretty simple, not square, but kind of triangle, maybe when you get, I'm a little bit confused. And I haven't looked at those others very close. I did look at this. Any questions?
I think we just gotta decide what we're gonna do with Homewood.
Exactly.
Beacon,
Groveland.
Groveland,
Townships, 2 townships.
Yeah.
Okay.
which is a little different. And most of your properties aren't divided like that, but I'm sure some can be.
It's been forever. Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
get it changed.
Yeah.
The land off of Fisher Road that you talked to us about at one point, you didn't do anything with that, is that correct?
Randy had asked that question. Fisher Road, I did call the people back the next day after the board meeting, said we are not moving, we're gonna keep it, that's our board's. And the lady was not very nice to me, I shouldn't say on tape, but It wasn't very nice, said we'll be contacting the state's attorney.
That's
Up
fine.
front. Most likely we'll contact state's attorney.
That's fine.
I don't know what that meant, so I said, okay, anything else you need to know?
Interesting, yeah. This is, if it's worth this piece of property, it wouldn't matter, right?
But I, you know, if anybody's got opinions,
Well, my only thing is if that ring road goes through and they anticipate a subdivision maybe going on that land that they were trying to get from us, then we may need Homewood again.
That's true.
Just a thought.
That's what Dr. Wilt always said.
That's a wise man.
the only thing I want to pass out is special ed students, maybe that's more, maybe more exactly. But I will say our special ed numbers out of district are up. I think when you look at students that we put out of district, pretty much $30,000 to go someplace. And if we have 6 students at Kiefer and 5 at Shrum, we're spending a lot of money outside of district.
How much does it cost to send our kids to the safe school?
Germantown Hills, I don't actually have that one on there. Shelley would probably know if we looked it up, but I think we have it. It might be in your booklet.
Do we have to provide transportation?
Yeah.
We do have to
If
provide.
we place them there,
Yeah.
if they go on their own, we don't have to provide transportation, but we don't pay tuition like we do with the
Right.
out-of-district special ed, but there is a fee of,
It's like $750 a semester, isn't it?
yeah, I feel
How
like
much
about
is it?
$2,000 total.
But it was approximately $750 a semester.
Okay, but don't they get the money then that we would have normally got on top of it?
Mhm.
And then we have to provide transportation. I mean, Homewood Heights might be a good option for the alternative school for our district.
Now, I will say this, when I look at our students
I
that
mean,
go outside the district, Shrum students,
Like,
I think, they're just, I think,
We don't have the
we don't
facilities.
have, we
Right.
can't deal with it. So I think,
Right.
Kiefer is more behavior. Right now, we have 6 students going there. We lost one today, so I think we're down to 5. We got one that's moving. So we're down to 5, but, you know, when I say, I think it's cheaper, in my opinion, I think it's better, Mick and Steve might disagree because it would cause them a little more work. But if you had one extra room in each building, at least at the junior high, we have, 5 of the 6 students are junior high students, so. We could put them in Homewood, yes, we could, but
Oh, not
I think
these
it might,
kids. I just meant the other kids.
but it might be cheaper, or it might be a better option to just make a classroom, a BD classroom. And there is some interest from one of our special ed teachers that even wants to maybe teach, would love to teach a BD class.
Is she qualified?
Yes.
Might be something to consider.
So I think that's something.
We need to start talking about that probably in January. I wanna do that.
Just one fast question.
Sure.
There's a limit on the number of students you can have in a BD
Yeah.
classroom.
there
What is the current limit?
I want to say 8 with an 8.
8 with an
I think I'm close. Over 3, you
It's
got to have
got
an
less
8.
than that, but, I don't know.
A lot of times they
Okay,
end
but I
up.
mean,
I'm
it's
thinking about
some,
the one kid that's out. I don't know if he, even if he was in the classroom, would it,
Would it help?
yeah, what outcome would be different for him, for that kid?
The younger student, I think it would be an advantage to have a classroom, especially for that. Would it make them?
Let's not talk about specific.
Right.
Right,
Right.
yeah, that's true.
How about you announce the FOIAs?
Boys, we just had one.
2.
The 2 were, one was, I know Shelley took care of it very quickly, got right on it.
American Watchdog.
American Watchdogs, that's the first one, that's the only one I can really talk about. I know, I was amazed how quick Shelley responded to it and got it out, because it was a lot of information they did ask for. We got it out, never hear from those people. The second one was from, is the next one?
Michael Timothy.
Right, next page.
National Association of Environmental Engineer Students.
Okay, what were they for? What do they want? It's a request. American Watchdogs.
superintendent's.
Yeah, information. Okay, so you handled that.
Whoever's
Is
in
that
charge
the
of
watchdog?
maintaining
That's
the,
the watchdog.
the other one is who's in charge of maintaining the facility and grounds for all the school buildings.
Who is asking for it?
The National Association of Environmental Engineering Students.
All right, anything else that you had to report on?
I think that's it.
Mr. McCormick, you wanna go first?
I went first last time. I'm happy to go first again, but out of fairness.
Okay, Mr. Johnson.
Sure, I will.
Then we can sleep right afterwards.
I will
Run
I
up there.
think so.
Exactly.
I've taken up way too much of your time. I will be very brief tonight. Very pleased to announce our Students of the Month, Sean Ish, Sierra Estrada, Luna Lance, Rachel Maskey, have all been nominated by staff to be our Students of the Month. Very proud of our Students of the Month, recognized by our staff at Parkview School. At the last meeting, Mr. Whiston and the board approved some work to be complete. We had a drain issue on the playground area over at Parkview. That work has been scheduled to be completed this Thursday. We have parent-teacher conferences, no students, and that work is scheduled to be completed this Thursday afternoon. Lions Club, the Creve Coeur Lions Club, very pleased to report that the Lions Club recently donated $100 towards the Mom Who Cares program. We're very appreciative of the donation in the room upstairs that's been designated to house this program. It's really starting to come into shape, and if you ever have a chance to stop in, go up, take a look at the room. Getting closer and closer to getting that program up and running. So we're really looking forward to having that program for our students.
Is there anything you guys need?
Yeah, Patty, feel free to jump in here.
What they ask for is like gentle use clothing that teens will wear, like our kids will wear, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, for a teenager, not for
Right.
adults.
Yeah. And then shoes the same way, different types of shoes that are gently used. I know they're doing like extra stuff with like hygiene and that. You can
Like
donate that stuff.
Shampoos, conditioners, deodorants, body spray, toothpaste, toothbrushes,
Yeah.
things of that nature.
Always money.
I'm sorry,
Money.
money? Oh, that, they will take your money, absolutely.
Money, and they've done, I mean, Brenda Cagle, I know, has donated a lot of the clothing racks and stuff for us, so we,
Nice.
she's got it donated, so that's pretty much done. I'm taking stuff over. Friday mornings is when they ask for the donations to come in, so there's somebody there that can set it up, and Amber and Donna Burns are doing a lot of the setup over there. I'm taking all the school supplies, so nobody needs to donate school supplies. The churches have been wonderful this year. And I did want to put that on the record, that the 3 area churches here, the church with the bell, I think it's Bethel, is that Bethel?
Yep.
And then the Christian church, and then my church, which is the Sandy's church, have donated over 100, you think about 100 book bags with supplies in them.
Right.
So we have more than enough.
Absolutely, so it's very, very exciting. November the 10th, we have an in-service scheduled on November the 10th. Judy Bruner is scheduled to present to our faculty and staff. We're looking forward to this. Judy actually presented at the IPA conference. Same topic. The topic's called Don't Call a Circle, Restorative Practices that Support Student, Staff, and Academic Endeavors. So Judy's going to present from the angle of classroom management. So we're certainly looking at classroom management, transform a productive classroom, a school environment. So we're looking forward to that. Have a lot of things going on right now. We are in the midst of Red Ribbon Week. Mrs. Strausser has a lot of activities. Every day has been designated as a special day. The special day calendar has been provided. We have Warrior Way tomorrow for our students. So positive activities for our 5th and 6th grade students and our 7th and 8th grade students. We're looking forward to celebrating our Warrior Way activities tomorrow. Parent-teacher conferences Thursday, Friday of this week. Hard to believe. And we'll have progress reports ready for our students. Halloween party, we talked about that earlier today. Halloween party dance is scheduled for this Friday night from 6 to 8. And then on October the 30th, we have Blue and White Night. We have that all ready to go. Mr. Nettles has been working on that. And we look forward to hopefully having a packed house at 6 o'clock on October 30th for Blue White Night. Veterans Day, we also have our Veterans Day program scheduled on November the 9th. We're hoping to have a great turnout for our Veterans Day program to recognize our men and women who have served or who are currently serving in our nation's military. So
What time is that?
the Veterans Day program, we have a breakfast scheduled at 8:15 to 9:30, and then, I'm sorry, 8:15 to 9 o'clock is the breakfast, and then we have our all-school assembly from 9 to 9:30. And Mrs. Millicent has some invitations that Mrs. Millicent asked me to distribute tonight. This is for the November 15th Thanksgiving feast. So we have these to give out, and everyone is more than welcome to participate and partake of the Thanksgiving feast.
That's very nice.
Very nice last year.
What day is it on?
And what time? Does she have one?
She doesn't before we go
What's
to
that?
Chicago's.
11 o'clock?
11 a.m. to 1
11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Last but not least, Mr. McCormick and I were fortunate to have been able to attend the IPA conference down in Springfield. A lot of good sessions, very beneficial. I learned a lot of ideas that we can bring back to Parkview School. So we're appreciative of being able to go to that.
Any questions? I do appreciate you listing on our report that you send us the life safety study that's
Sure.
getting done.
Sure.
So now I'm wondering, our secretary redid the forms for us so that we have them in A's and B's. If he gives you the information, can you start keeping track of what's been done?
We have to fill out requisitions, right? I think that's one of the things we fill out.
The work orders or
Well,
work request.
so that the board can be updated on what's being done.
Right.
Okay, that's where I'm going. Somebody needs to keep track of the whole thing. Each one is on the list you gave us, correct?
Yes,
Should be.
yes, on what
See
Jim
what I'm
talked about
saying?
earlier tonight, yes.
His list was not user-friendly. Sorry, Jim, it was not.
That's all
She
right.
redid it for us. So, if that information is given to Stephanie, couldn't she start keeping,
Just cross it off on the list.
yeah, do it.
You know, start
That'd be a good way of
there.
doing it.
And then Mr. McCormick will start doing the same thing in LaSalle.
Yeah.
Yes? Okay,
Thumbs up.
okay. That way, then the board can get a report
Absolutely.
from Stephanie.
Sure.
I mean, I
What's
appreciate
still
you telling us.
outstanding.
Sure.
Exactly, so that we can keep track of it,
Absolutely.
okay? If
Yeah.
that's not a problem, that would be appreciative. Yeah, the requisitions, that's between you, Steve, and Shelley. We don't get into that, so just, you have the money moved over, that's the
Okay.
end of our job. All
I
right?
do want to add one thing. If you ever go to Mr. Johnson's school, Parkview at 2:35, and you're coming in from the parking lot, you might want to just wait 5 minutes because you're swimming upriver. We had the 2 insurance people show up today at 2:30, 2:35, and they're going up that hallway. And I
What were
thought,
they thinking?
Here that these, I was trying to wave them to the side a little bit, but it's busy.
They're ready to get out,
They're ready to get
ready to
out.
go home. Yeah.
Excited. I'm more excited leaving than coming, I think. They go to class a little more slower than they leave.
Does anyone need Mr. Johnson for executive session? You got to go first, you get to go home first.
Oh,
Good night.
thank you. Have a good evening. Thank you. Oh,
Jim, you don't have to wait.
Well, I was just waiting for the buildings and grounds in case
Okay.
anything came up, so, thank you.
I
Sharon's not
think
there.
we'll be fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Brenda's not here, so.
We
I'm sorry,
appreciate
I
you being
should've-
here.
Now I'm gonna hurt Mr. McCormick's feelings.
Okay.
Oh, what? Hello, Mr. McCormick.
Hi, guys.
Take your time. No.
Well, if Steve's gonna stay, then I'll just take my time.
If you talk faster, you get to go home sooner.
All right, so since since last time we met, we concluded our a successful book fair and grandparents week. Everything finished up well there. But we've also just yesterday started our school fundraiser. Same group we've used the last couple of years, which does provide the tuition reimbursement. How many will save those and go on and use them, I don't know, but it would have been nice to collect them for many years. Tomorrow afternoon, we'll have a brief power outage at LaSalle, which is important because our servers will be down for about an hour for the district. They're finishing up whatever work they did here. They're switching us over to the new lines, yada, yada, yada. It'll be about an hour from starting at 4 o'clock. I emailed everybody in the district to make them aware, including Mr. Wendell and his group, so they knew to make sure the servers came back online. We've got 2 popcorn days scheduled for the rest of the semester. First one's tomorrow, and then we've got one at the beginning of January, thanks to Mrs. Giddens, because she kind of heads up the popcorn committee, if there is such a thing. But she makes sure we have the popcorn in the bags and everything ahead of time. Thank you for the IPA conference. Although I think Mr. Johnson and I attended one of the breakout sessions together, we pretty much went in different directions. But we always came back to our same seats for the general sessions. And this was probably the best IPA conference I've been to in a number of years. I did not have a bad session, and usually I'll have one where I'm like, I wish I wouldn't have gone to this one for one reason or another. Not that it was bad, just didn't apply type thing, but hit them all on the head, and they really closed with a neat session at the end that was pretty, I would say, inspirational in a lot of different ways. Parent-teacher conference is coming up. Last week I took a walk down and met with Kim Peak about the Halloween parade. We've got that all worked out. Happened to have the chief of police and the road commissioner in the office at the time, so we all sat down. We're going to block off the end of the road down there. We're going to block it off here. And on my way back, I stopped at a couple of the businesses along the way. I stopped kind of to let them know, but also to kind of say, hey, if you want to set up a table, you can. The nurses at the doctor's office were very excited about the idea because they always look forward to it. And I said, perfect, you can dress as nurses. And they got giggling. It was kind of fun. Whether or not they'll do anything, I don't know. I did stop at the pool hall because, yes, I was on work time. I only stayed for 1 or 2 drinks, so it's not a big deal. Kim Peak actually suggested, she said the lady there has talked to Kim about doing things for the schools. And so I let her know that we'd be kind of closing that road off. She said, that's not a big deal, it's not a busy time. I said, if you want to come out and watch the kids or set up a table and hand out candy, she's like, oh, I might do that. So I don't know. Talked to a couple employees at Radine's, talked to the video store. They kind of always do something, the video store does, but they're short on employees right now, so they were going to have to figure out how it was going to work. But so we've got that road blocked off, we've got the routes set. Teachers seem to be a little happier about that because we're not all spread out through a neighborhood. I think it's going to work.
Good.
Cross your fingers, the weather's good.
Yeah.
Senator Kaler has actually I think the aide to the aide has called me several times and rescheduled because they keep calling veto sessions or different things like that. So I've been rescheduled twice. It's now November 6th, but he's still looking forward to it, at least according to the aide, and he'll be here that morning. November 10th. November 10th, we've got our Nets for Vets, which was part of the Honor Flight fundraiser we did. The winning class actually got their pizza party this afternoon, which was, they set it up, Pizza Hut delivered to a kindergarten class. We got 7 large pizzas. I'm carrying them down here going,
No way. Did they eat?
they ate 5, I think. And then the teachers did the job on the rest. Okay. So, and that was after lunch. But, so we've got, I believe, Ms. Hill may have sent you guys out an invitation to the Nets for Vets along with a schedule. We've kind of revised our schedule, so at the end of the Nets for Vets part, we've got about a half an hour, 40-minute window where we're going to honor any vets that we get to come in, along with, I know she
invited the police department, fire department, anybody along those lines to come in for the day. We sent out, or I think we sent them home already, notes inviting, you know, family and friends who are active or retired military to come in. So we'll have a short program honoring them, along with Mr. Whiston's getting a pie in the face that day.
Are you?
What time was that?
Is it, what's it? what
10:45.
kind? What kind? Apple or?
You just get whipped cream, whatever you want to pay
Oh,
for.
come on, no. Don't get just whipped cream. He's already said he'll do apple or cherry.
I think
Oh,
cherry.
I get
Cherry
that
sounds
banana.
really messy.
I'm not wearing my white shirt that day or have it.
Last thing I've got for you, holiday concerts. Gonna do them the last week we're in school, before the break. That is, December 18th will be kindergarten at 6, first and second grade at 7. And then Tuesday the 19th, third and fourth grade at 6:30.
Now, I've got Steve's band concert on that day.
Steve's got a band concert on that day?
Okay,
6:30
on which day?
on the 19th.
So if you have a kid.
Okay, let me revise. I will get back to you on a revised date because I don't want to overlap there. We might go Monday, Wednesday then. All right, but I'll have to double check that to be sure.
Got that Google Calendar working?
Mine works fine.
Does Mr. Johnson's work fine?
May need to re-navigate the calendar.
Okay, all right, sounds good. And before you leave, I want to thank you for going down and helping Mr. Whiston with the bells at Homewood. My son thanks you very much. They were going off every hour on the hour, day and night, and have been since the summer. So they got it all fixed and taken care of. So
Yeah,
appreciate that.
push the
It's
off
haunted.
button. But you know what was interesting? I don't understand that system very well, but I'm going to push the schedule button, and it, you know, it tells you, and you can't, every time you hit the schedule button, it tells you the next time the bells. It's like Monday at 6:30 a.m. And then the next bell supposedly is Tuesday at 7:30. And I mean, they were just all over the place. It was just so random, and it just kept going and going and going, and back to Monday,
It's
and to
haunted.
Wednesday. It
It
is.
is haunted.
So they should be off, and
Okay, I appreciate that.
not a problem.
All right.
And they do have the intercom system still working there, because I was in one of the rooms yesterday. I pushed the button, and I walked by the office, it's beeping, beep, beep. I had to go over and click it.
And you wonder why the bells were going off.
So you can still have,
That's interesting. How many buttons have you been
Right.
pushing, Mr. Whiston?
just one of them.
Just one. Okay, both of you, good night.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you. Committee
Now, one
report.
last thing, the power was turned on, or the heat was turned on today. 2 weeks ago, we were wanting air conditioning, today we want heat. And it's gonna get, your kindergarten rooms are hot, right?
Mhm.
They were last year too.
Get the people out.
Already did.
Thank you. All right, building and grounds, any report? Policy,
No,
schedule a meeting quickly.
schedule, okay.
Technology,
Just a quick one, the E-rate is due on Monday. I checked with Jay Wendelin, I forgot that he no longer does it for us, but his part is done.
cool.
So, we're good.
And Mr. Whiston's part will come shortly, right? Parent teacher advisory,
Haven't done anything.
okay, schedule a meeting whenever you get time.
Well, I gotta get parents.
Okay, food service,
We had a meeting, our meeting minutes are in the packet.
I have a comment. Could you check on strawberry milk, please?
I do have an update on that. I don't remember what day they're going to be, was it Tuesday and Thursday?
No, wait,
What days were they delivered?
yeah, wait, Monday and Thursday, right?
Starting when?
This month.
still haven't.
Today's 24th. Better
Wait,
hurry.
Was it the, didn't she say she
Just
inquired
saying.
about them?
Mr. Whiston, could you email Mrs. Davis, ask her about strawberry milk?
She said they were going to be delivered 2 times a week and then they'll
Yes.
get
For
them out the
sure.
following day.
Yeah, so whenever the bread truck comes.
Yeah, she's right. October's almost gone. All right, are there any visitors wishing to address the board?
Can Food Drive starts next week.
Next Wednesday, right?
Mhm.
Good. Need a motion, please, Mrs. Reagan?
Make a motion to enter an executive session for employment. No, it's my fault. for student matters, appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performance of dismissal of specific bodies, specific employees of public body, collective bargaining matters between the public body and executive representatives of its certified employees, and review of executive session minutes from the regular meeting held October 10th, 2017 at 8:47.
Second.
Giddens.
Aye.
Captain Reagan.
Aye.
Val Reagan.
Aye.
Tyler.
Aye.
Griner. Bailey.
Aye, motion carried. We need a motion to resume regular session.
Make the motion to resume regular session at 9:24 p.m.
Do we have a second?
Second?
Roll call, please.
Giddens.
Aye.
Catherine Reagan.
Aye.
Val Reagan.
Aye.
Tyler.
Aye.
Griner, aye. Bailey.
Aye, motion carried. Need a motion regarding resignation.
Make the motion to approve the resignation from Jack Brecklin as a full-time bus driver.
A second.
Roll call.
Giddens.
Aye.
Catherine Reagan.
Aye.
Val Reagan.
Aye.
Tyler.
Aye.
Griner, aye. Bailey.
Motion carried. Need a motion for employment.
Motion to employ Jack Brecklin as a part-time bus driver.
For the 17-18 school years.
No, just as a part-time bus driver.
Okay,
Second.
I thought I read something else.
It's okay. Second?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, sorry, I thought you meant, we need a second.
Roll call, please.
Giddens.
Aye.
Cat Reagan.
Aye.
Val Reagan.
Aye.
Tyler.
Aye.
Griner, aye. Bailey.
Aye, motion carried. Need a motion regarding a sponsor for math counts.
Make the motion to employ Teresa Miller as Math Counts program sponsor for the 2017-2018 school year.
Second.
Giddens.
Aye.
Catherine Reagan.
Aye.
Val Reagan.
Aye.
Tyler.
Aye.
Griner, aye. Bailey.
Aye, motion carried. Need a motion to add applicant to substitute teacher list.
Make the motion to add Sherry Stoltenberg to the substitute teacher list.
Second.
Giddens.
Aye.
Catherine Reagan.
Aye.
Val Reagan.
Abstain.
Tyler.
Aye.
Griner, aye. Bailey.
Aye, motion carried. Is there anything else that we forgot? Make the motion, we adjourn the meeting at 9:26.
Second. Giddens.
Aye.
Cat Reagan.
Aye.
Val Reagan.
Aye.
Tyler.
Aye.
Griner, aye. Bailey.
Aye, motion carried. Meeting adjourned.